Good morning, everyone. Well, good weather for meditation today. Uh, 다들이 먼저 뒤돌아 대시나라. 아니, 지금 알아서 메제나라야다. 메제나. 그래서 뭐마 됐지. 더 잘해 한다. 딱 먼저 미망고지. 수수 단다디. anxiety 라 그러 봐. 어디 내가 라네. 컨데스. 수수 anxiety 수수 매우 컨데스 소위 메터. 두당에마 계좌 데스 셰레 네티링 양자 디돌라 데스 셰샤나. 단다 카시에 건서 사바도. 네. Open the door. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome, and in the context of this human life, I was mentioning last week that sometimes we have anxiety, these worries, and we looked at a method to try and make that less, to reduce that situation. So therefore, I mentioned it last week, but some of us here today are new, so we'll go through that again.
다, 네, 한다. 데리스 가서래. 탑시, 다 anxiety 간데 유명한 데시 야고 말해 상말로 냠녀 요레스로 상어 페이지 미 anxiety 춘이 중문연이 이미 이제 단다 디 시점이시로 차대 요레스로.
So the methods to reduce that. Firstly, this thing called anxiety. It's not for me to say whether you have that or not, because I think in terms of your life, most of us have probably experienced it. So there we go.
제가 다 뒤에 먼저 저랑서 나 anxiety스나 되리야 상선라 먼저 메제나라다 내주 라마다 요인데 아니 가서 그래 강에서 그래 그랬대 상선라 사그치기서는 패닉스로 어딘데 연구도 하다 근데 연대 다디 아세 다디 야고면도 가셔야 될래야 가서 하나다 이 이모션 라고도 알아
Yeah.
다 간다 이모님의 메제 미나라 때데스 텐데 연대기요 연대 가셔 수술라 탑시 매매체네 멤버에서 두고요 레스로 멤버기 저랑이 수고 내당 택시 간대요 아니 택시에도 다제 지그래 아니 레버 다제 지그래 근데네 칼라 가르사기 다 멤버 가시기 니 야고 그거에서 가시기 아니 지 저랑 초보 총무의 relationship도 야고 예외서 계속 되기도 한 담아들라 컨저 맨로다 데스 수부단 되어야다 수부게 제단 되어야 맨 근데 데그레메 근데 데스다 되게 요래스로
So in the context of this human life, and what we talk about as anxiety or problems, sometimes we get that. Sometimes we get nervous. We might even get into states of worry where we panic. And, some of us call that these strong emotions coming up. These strong emotions and feelings come up. And that comes up day to day. Day to day that comes up. So we have to look for a method to reduce that or to help alleviate those kind of mental worries and anxieties. And some of us might even go to see a doctor to help with that. Very much the doctor will be asking us questions around that to do with our physical body, maybe checking our blood pressure, maybe anything related to our brains, asking us what we eat, what is our diet, are we sleeping okay? And then yet some doctors might ask, how are your relationships in your partnerships and with your family? So taking at it from that angle. But really what the doctor is doing is looking at it from a very physical angle, just on the level of prescribing medicines that will work on the physical matter element of the body.
제자다 다디 가셔야 되니 이 구야로 당 아니 레버데 타고 두고 있어요.
Yeah.
레버데제 레베제드 데스트룩샤 되네. 핑계에서 차지. 가셔야 라고도 레베제 직직 두고요 말해서 간조 미싱이 미임베서 간조 로봇이면서 레베 제드네 아니 파즈 두고요 말해서 아니 디제디 아니 거 커넥션요 말해서 라고도 다 제지고 그 삼다제 계시에 메로던데 저기 요래다 카두 데라 지 데테스마 수보당 지 레바들 혈류를 차되네 그 매워다버지 차면서지 시자 매워 소토고요 말해서 소토고면도 와서 양자 연구도 와서 건들어.
So then diagnosing that some of us couldn't sleep, or is it related to a brain somehow? Can we pacify the brain? The doctors might say that the neurons in the brain are not in harmony. They're out of whack, they're out of kilter, and might prescribe something to subdue that level of it. But then that's almost like thinking that we are machines, that we can be fixed like that on that level of matter. So herefore, because only working on the level of matter, or on the physical constraint of body and brain, that's just a temporal relief. But what happens is the anxieties, the problems come back.
다 저디 셈라네 중요로 봐. 셈. 다 데이터 카요 뭐 셈네 중요래도 안아서 삼로단단로 봐. 당고들라 수수 삼로디 때문에 그치 삼로 차기지 제로. 아니 니바들라 아니 수수 셈게 내주디야 첨부 쇼주스여로 봐. 내주 춘준주는 디야 첨부스 가시에네 내주 매발에 여보서도
Yeah.
야 dumro söje로 안디 거르르시죠 파르시 추리시 가시에든 상상라 내주 용고랑 저 치기 수부게 강에 내나저든데 용고요래 아니 내다 강에 제셔야 되는다 만나서 릴레이션십들에 다로 딜레데네 용고요로다 릴레이션십스디 인지민지 그 도부 도무 고구문도 내가 내니 단도 먼저 미단도 저거도로 네 미담이 되어지도 자성보다와 미담이 되어져야 돼. 제가 미 파직람나 나한테 수직랍 파직랍 수직랍 아니 간sam질라 니가 툭제대 아니 삼범마 이어제대 근데 연구도 알아. 제가 디연도네 이 테스트 연구여들래 야 디간라야 심기 터버스네로 자자 내단 강에도지 자자 주유나 야 디간라 자자 든주 제주에 잡제네 배 자자 자탐버로 쓰제네 수수 마지워서 예유 창원 마지워서 근데 연구도 하러 생것은 요래도 다 간다 망보지로.
So that's looking at the condition of not being able to solve problems on the physical level. That's no problem. That's not a really big thing. We know that it's mental. We know that a lot of the problems we're experiencing are coming from the mind. And this is really because of the way we are thinking. In short, there's a couple of conditions behind this. Firstly, our minds are not stable. We don't have stability mentally, stability of mind. Secondly, we can tend to make small problems into really big deals, big issues. Thirdly, sometimes when there's not even a problem at all, we make one out of it. So we fabricate these stories. And then fourthly, we fabricate these problems which aren't problems. And then in the fourth level, sometimes we do get physically sick. So that makes us worry. Then on another level, there's this relationship level. So of course we have to relate in our partnerships, male, female, but even in the constraints of our jobs, in our work, we have to interact with our colleagues. So this is talking about how human beings basically have to relate to each other. Somehow, when we have to relate to each other, problems come up. Someone says one thing, you say another, they say two, you say two, and it just goes and goes. And all of a sudden you find that someone's upset. And this is really happening because of projections. The mind has become kind of upset and disturbed. So what might have been a 10% small issue, now we've blown it up by 70 and 80%, and it's almost like 100% a negative condition. And this can make us feel a bit down. This can make us feel anxious and so forth.
다 드링 아주 탑시라고 다 뒤에 내가 아무 메제나나 강에 연구를 가시에다 스스 대베 내주나래 연구를 가시 단다 유시 말와 이봐 단다스나다 단데 내가 될 이내 뒤 내가블라 당 아주 삼로 거당 오래서나 당에 탑람라버지 카 대진 숨러버지 간라 아 예샤나스로 대진 숨러버지 말랍샤나스로
So then what we're looking at today is a method to reduce those anxieties and problems, because it's the case that some of us have had difficult experiences in the past. We're still carrying that up to now, you know. So what are these three areas where we can reduce that?
다 당보디 삼발 흘렸어야 돼. 계속 뭐 쉬어다. 정말 당보디 그래서 삼발 흘렸어 그래서.
The first one, okay, make the mind relax. Can you make the mind a little bit spacious?
다 되네 니와디 다 앵자리 유에 가둘라. 디파 뉴르당 그랬어.
The second one would be when difficulties do come up, how to reduce them, make them less.
다디 아니 대전 숨바디 아니 다 탑시 야슈 진짜 양자 내주 진짜 많이 알아.
Yeah.
아니 그래 час.
Yeah.
예. 진짜 내주 진짜 많이 알아. 아니 나도 다 가르치고 그래서 대전 숨바.
Yeah. So then the third one would be best case is to stop the conditions around that problem arising, to have a countermeasure. So those three, relax the mind, lessen it, and then have a countermeasure.
다 선발 하려고 한댔어 그래. 주얼리라.
First point, okay, how do you relax your mind? How do you relax mentally?
곰 잡나 약셔래라.
Best thing, you meditate. You learn to sit.
다곰 가르자오래라나. 곰 다 만다 여러. 아니 나라서 탄다 욱 당기요라. 나라서 탄다 욱 당기요라. 욱 될라 삼다라. 욱 당도 욱파 당도. 될라 셰베체나. 대서 흘려 차그래서 삼반 흘려 땐데 차그래. 탄다 욱라 삼나 다음에는 욱릉 버스 당도 욱릉 버스 파 당도 서라 욱간라 삼나 욱추릉 버당 셰베체너라. 욱 당도 욱 중오더라. 아니 셰베체인데 nga thanda urung bo chu dang do pa dang do sam dang de ani sim di de gan la ne tebe yina ani sambal holo cha yin barasro.
So therefore, if there are many types of meditation, what are they? Yes, in fact, there are many types, but we need to breathe. And one of the methods is to just be aware of the breath. So therefore, when you are breathing in, you are aware, I'm breathing in. And when you're exhaling, you're aware, I'm breathing out. So therefore, as soon as you have that awareness of just breathing, you're aware of it with your mind, straight away, then the mind becomes relaxed. The point there is to place the mind just on the inhalation and exhalation.
어제 아니 곰라 곰라 곰세야 돼 지난다 공고 탄다라는데 뭔고 요래 그대는 거대워지나 곰리 채워 봐 곰리 채워 되는 거라 저장어서 당고 곰자 곰시스 쇼베네 건다사고 때즈다 때즈 할려지 곰시서 그래서
Varela.
아란절 학버도 아란절 데 뉴질랜드 뉴조이나 비지나 아니 베 석세로 임버 상당제 아니 아란절 뒤에 삼바 비지레서 디가라 양자 지속 누슈 페피샤게 비지 세제 아니 감사질레 빼 수수수수수 삼바데 다고 자모도 데 되게요라 다 될라 니마질라 삼바 틱스만 흘려서야
Yeah.
아니 곰시 써야 될라 곰시 곰바치야 될라 아니 곰리셔 야네 곰시 당보 곰자 곰시 써고 당보로
What then is the meaning of this word meditation? It really means to make the mind familiar, to make the mind habituated to doing something, to make it familiar with something. So therefore, we need to have a method that covers the day so that when we wake up in the morning, we make the mind relaxed. And we make the mind relaxed. So therefore, let's look at us in New Zealand. We are in the West, we're in New Zealand, and we sometimes have this notion that, being successful means being a busy person. Or the other way around, you have to be busy to be successful. Well, in fact, we are that, we become that. And the second thing is we have peer pressure around that, some expectation. Thirdly, it comes to a state where we no longer can control our own minds. We've lost control of our mind. So therefore, what we have to get used to is relaxing in the morning. And that's the meaning of meditation, to get used to positive mind.
로다 미 가르셰베다 가르친 거 주도 주 말했어.
In a sense, whatever people say externally to you, because you have control of your mind, you pay it no heed.
그런데 가르라니토 가르셰니토 그런데 라마레 이게 뭐더라? 제가 수수수수 쌤데 아니 검자 할려시 대도나 아니 데 유더라.
Yeah.
개엄래 내가 실로 배샤세하더니 요바요레 매바요레 상선을 톡보 용거래 톡보 도그래 니 파도그래 지 용거래 게 시다 개요만다 개시 톡보 야슈데 스스 셈레로 딜라 톡보 야고 디그래
So whatever other human beings say, it's okay. Whatever they think, that's also okay. Because you are free to be yourself, just as they are. And in that context, if your mind is relaxed, that's also okay. Because if you think about it, these external things, sometimes one will have money, sometimes one will not. Sometimes one will have friends, sometimes one will not. But the best friend is your own mind. Know your mind.
다데 톡보 야고 디나 아니 개엄래 가데 네 교요래
So making acquaintance, making friends with your own mind is the best because it can never desert you.
다 제가 아니 쇼베다 곰자로 하고도 다 당부 꿀롱 곰자야 돼 계신 버려 나랑도 정말로 저랑도 멍버지 내가 치고 가시 송간날 내가 치고래 가시 레군날 내가 치고래 가시 상안 내가 치고래 가시 맹간날 내가 치고래 가시 또 와르멘데 내가 쳐다 내가 서서 담을 치고라
Yep.
내가디 빼샤 치디 이마 템버체 내가디 밀라 펜도 쳐야 치디 템버이나 아니 건다 추정하게 결론 갈래슈 카기도
Yeah.
쇼게 꿀론데 펜도 쳐야 그 꿀론 야고요나 갈래 카야디 뇽어요 대자마세 수술 내가 여보신 드링아 다 수보다 데 갈래 카거데 심라 빼 되어요 드링아 밀라 펜도 내가 야고 체잉에 네 보스 라당 아니 코육당 하나 내가 지하도 밀라 펜도 제와던 코육을 펜도 제와던데 체잉 하나 빼 야고 중선삼 심나라야 가올리그로 꿀론야 고요나 수보다 그 갈래 카기로 왔다 그 내가 제도 디 민고랑 다디 인지실을 가르려고 하나 이 배배실에 레가 시기도 그때지 레버가 깔레카요.
Ale.
디 민디하고 싶다도
Dua.
배배실에 레가스디 아니 데스 레버다가 깔레카요 거스. 이 수구래. 심레 펜시비나 아니 심레 수스 아니 심레 가오제. 아니 심레야 가서래. 가르쳐에 있는 심 수고 난에서 초 대화로 답에 야고 중성 밀了偏头子这个头子你了头子可以了这偏头子现在发现呢啷个讲了对 plastic 的呀这读解现在就路不呢这就多了这就多听着这结尾的什么了你们看写这就不得的是吧
So what's important for us then in terms of the way we start the day is to have a really good intention, a good motivation when we start the day, kind of altruistic, to set that intent. Here, some of us might be working in an office, yet others in a restaurant, a hotel, some in a hospital. Some might be helping the environment, whatever. But what's very important here, whatever you're doing, is that your motivation is not just the money. One's motivation should be thinking that you're trying to benefit others, to have this altruistic view, broad view. Here, you're not just thinking about the money. And what tends to happen is when you have this attitude of other-oriented approach, that today I'm going to do my best to benefit others, although you might be physically tired at the end of the day, somehow that's going to reduce the mental problems you might have had because you're thinking of others. So yes, you might be physically exhausted, but you might look back and think, today I was really able to look out for others. I was able to help my boss or whatever, and the environment, able to help the colleagues. And then there's that sense that you're so relaxed because you did something good. We have this word in Tibetan, I don't know how it translates into English, it's called leka, which means difficult action, which is the translation for the word work. So somehow you do these actions and you feel quite difficult around it. Leka. So like it's difficult to do, right? But if you have a sense of joy, if you can have a sense of joy that just by doing something small during the day to help others, then it really reduces that you might be physically tired. And then, then like you can do one thing, two things, three things. And then that kind of adds up, like just doing a small thing like picking up some litter, putting it into a bin, and you feel joyful around that. That's very important. Yeah, we'll do a little motivation meditation together now, and you can close the door if you're called.
꿀롱 곰데다 티링에 룽아게 저강 셔거다 아니 셴베 바식 치기 인게 마 인지틱지어라 어디게 말라고 아니 저랑서 게 제레야 데 랜드로 정말 숨지 지시 아스로.
So our motivation is that today the actions of my body and speech will be solely to benefit others. And I'll say this mantra in English and we can repeat it.
Today all the actions of my body, speech and mind will only benefit others. Today all the actions this God, I give me
This was lost it, so we have to pause here.
I think Mark memorize, and then Mark teasing me. Today, all my action, but Mark, we have a good relationship, and he teasing me English. And that's good for me, then I need a little better. effort. We do again, okay. Oh, yeah. Today, all the actions
Today, all the actions
of my body, speech, and mind
of my body, speech, and mind
will only benefit others.
will only benefit others.
Today, all the actions
Today, all the actions
of my body, speech, and mind
of my body, speech, and mind
will only benefit others.
will only benefit others.
Today, all the actions
Today, all the actions
of my body, speech, and mind
of my body, speech, and mind
will only benefit others.
will only benefit others.
지난주 수수쌤게 사숨결 아니 책디 양자 삼로시다로.
So now recite that mentally 3 times to oneself, those words, and then reflect on the meaning.
그거는 두 번째나. 드링네체 삼바상보지. 미 삼바상보지 지도가 지기 삼지. 쇼트 모티베이션.
To make the motivation very short, today I'm going to generate a kind heart to others. Be kind to them.
나 담자지. 당아도 내 미제나라. 내주 야고 연구래 독자 연구래 야니 그래 저는 예. 가디나 삼바상보디. 아니 덜금에 삼 담자죠.
And now one makes the inner resolve. Whatever comes up in one's life, be it negative or positive, you're not going to let go of that kind heart.
아야, 다 가와곰. 당알아 든데게 삼바상보 삼바사바지. 디는 거랑 줄라 삼바사바지. 셴벤지 삼바사바지 예데. 아니 가와곰 그랬어.
Now rejoice, think how wonderful. Now today I've generated new and fresh this thought, concern for others. How wonderful.
haya ta nzu breathing exercise ro de la da mik zum no ke ba di zu zhong bo de wo re ro ke ba zhong bo de na ni pe pen do chen bo yo re 근데 ning ma zum na wo ni ne ya u du u rong bo tian je ni de nim de la ya ni su su bu na la nu ba sa ba de 이 치료 누가 사거든요. 그래서 나고 나네 수분날 줄레송 chen 아니 우파 단두장가라 아니 지배 anxiety 당 panic 당 depression 당 가려주나 어두서 파 태연송 change 아니 대지 곰대에서 잡시 왔을
Now, do some breathing exercise. So gently close one's eyes and feel a comfortable posture. Make sure that the back is straight, upright, and yet relaxed. This is very beneficial, this correct posture. And being aware of the breath coming in the nostrils. So when one inhales, fresh energy, fresh potency is pervading the body. So there's no physical defect. And when you exhale, when you breathe out, all of your anxiety, stress, or panics dispelled.
다 우파 단두 당에게 샘게 지 단다 마지워도 다 인자리 디페신 카레 패닉 카레요 정말 매와 차야 돼. 삼바베 탕보 삼바베 누가 전부 차서 된 거랬어.
Now, as you exhale, think that any difficulties that exist in the mind, no worries, stress, whatever, they've all been completely eliminated. Now, you got the mind clean and clear, totally lucid and relaxed.
다 옥추 당해요. 파등 쉐버죠. 우린지. 우린츠 당파다 나가던데 옥추 당거도. 우린 파 당거도. 쉐바 제 다게 가마데 삼로 다시 되었어.
Now, awareness of breath. So, on the inhalation, now I'm breathing in. On the exhalation, now I'm breathing out. So, focus the mind on the breath and ride the breath there.
다음에 욱통하지 주 당야 파다 셰버치 욱데스 통아 통아서는 데스 쪽볼라
Now, have the same awareness of inhalation and exhalation, but make the breaths a bit shorter, a bit quicker.
다음에 장가장 신기도나 우수단 파동 신기도나 안에 장가장 주당 파다 지 주당 파다 니 숨시가 도든요 주사부 장가장 주 장가레스나는 안에 장가 참셔야지 안에 한 쌤들 다다와 가나 데샤 절레치로
Now, as you're able, we're going to count the rounds or cycles of breath. So, inhaling once, exhaling once. That's one. Oh yeah, inhaling. And then inhaling once, exhaling once, that's two. And then 3, 4, 5. If you can count up to 10 rounds of inhalations and exhalations. And then just take a break and place the mind in the present moment.
그래서디 가시에 뭐에 온체 뭐에 수주 없체
Yeah, if some people have the phone switched on, better to switch it off. It'll stop the static.
다 연자 곰 잡셔서
And on that note, we have to meditate.
곰차에 머다
we
곰차에
have to meditate again because we're not finished.
예, breathing meditation 세고 될라.
Yeah. So breathing meditation, counting the cycles up to 10 rounds, and then rest in present moment.
다심 다다와 가는 셔야 돼. 남산 심 시외 가는 셔도 말아. 다다를 셔 변나 다다데 다든데 고다. 아니 다 고어디 시외셔나 다가지고. 다지 도와던데 미신 다지 도와. 근데 미신 가리는 섬데 데르라스티 고다. 다든데도 쌤디 다데 가나 하고와지 되나 다가지고.
So placing the mind in the present moment is not that easy. Sometimes we can't do that. For example, one might hear some sounds. We can hear the sounds of machines. So that's fine. You can just recognize, I hear this sound.
다드네 현안서 쌤 다다와 가는 데 탑시 찍디 다단당 아니 계시기도 가르치기도 연결 다 되나 하는 셈이 다 나와가는 내용 거라서.
Another method, keep the mind in the present moment. Now Geshe-la's talking, so just think, oh, he's talking, I'm listening, and therefore right there, you're right in the moment.
어디 먼저 삼발 흘려서야 탑시에 있다. 그저랑서 가르유나다 강에로와 앵자리유나레 와리유나레 패닉유나레 서프링유나레 가르유나 다스스 셈나라지 마지고 가르유에 내가라 주나 차장 공지 되면은 아니 우린 공지하시다 한다 비니 엑서사이즈 해도 어디 잡지대다 삼발 흘려 곰 잡나 삼발 흘려 서로 곰 맞으면 흘려 요 말다스로 곰 맞아서 장알 흘려 고야라나 요 말했어.
So that's a method to relax, isn't it? We need a method that is it to relax the mind. If you have these worries, if you're feeling anxious, if you have panic, even if you're suffering, what tends to happen is the mind is disturbed, it's uneasy. That is it. If you can meditate, well and good. But if you need a method to support that, focus on your breath. By focusing on your breath, automatically the mind becomes more peaceful, more relaxed. There's no other reason for meditation than that. That is it.
다 대전이버디 다 앵자리다 패닉 유변 내가블라 카둑들라 매우서야 탑시 가려요. 와 어디래다 저어디.
Second method, when the panic, when the anxiety comes up, what's the method to reduce it? That's the main point.
뒤진 전화서 가르치기 니 그거에 빨갛은 거에 시행인 거에 때문에 chanting 거에 가르치기.
I'm asking you, what's your method when you have anxiety and worry? Do you sleep? Do you play music? Do you work out? What do you do? Do you drink?
Sleep 되지 chance 요 말해.
Yeah, not much chance to sleep.
그 심장 왜 자기서 찾아라.
Because the mind's already gone with these thoughts. Cannot sleep.
가셔 chanting 거요래.
Then some take refuge in alcohol.
Some people like to listen to Geshe-la's laughter.
This sounds good, easy. 야. 들어, 나 제가 탑시지 거라 당자. 라. 탑시지 거라. 당에 탑시지 예스로. 저런서 탑시지 배졌다나? 직전에 펜토그래라.
Well, in short, you need a method, no? So if I introduce one method, maybe that will benefit us, benefit you.
당에 될라 탑시니 예스로. 탑시 당보대 가래라나. 앵자리도 디펜시 가래나. 말라 대도 말라체. 가와도. 제, 라. 예 패닉 가도. 예 앵자리 가도. 제대로. 레베길도 닝로도 골로도 강보도 가와도. 제대로. 계시 니스나는 하는 걸 가와다죠. 계실라 nga anxiety dedo 당알 탑시 거도 녀를 니고로 나자로 저 멤버지 다도나 nga 고나고도스나 코멘트 그래 닝나고도스나 닝 나자데 그래 블랙피쉬 유스나 타 나자유나 멘디 데그라 닝랑자 나자데 신고로 세상 나자데 지난주 제주치고라 지난주에 간절에 유스고로 nga anxiety 요 nga 패닉 요 시고라 어디 가도 nga 제제 데도스 nga 제고로 디니나 아니 게 탑시 디마니 걸는 게 탑시 되면야 지난주에 미 헤드게 유니질은 닝기 멘데는 팽마로와 데레 제자 다디 지난주 레가래 제자 최고고래 게 앵자리 가도 게 패닉 가도 제다 어디래 탑시 당보들이 최고로서.
The first method for dealing with these things when they come up is to try and seek it out. So where is it? You're experiencing anxiety. Where is it? You check, scan. Are you experiencing it in the brain, in the heart, in the hands, in the feet? And, having done that thorough analysis, if you find it and locate it, give me a call. Give me a call and I'll give you a method to deal with it. So, it's a given, isn't it? Like when we go to the doctor with a headache, he might give us something for our head. Or if we've got blood pressure issues, pills for our blood pressure or our heart. Here, what we're trying to do is locate that sense of emotional distress somewhere. There's no point in giving medicine for the head if the problem's in the heart. So I'm asking you to locate where is it.
디 저런저 저런저 홈 릴렉세이션 레스.
Yeah, that's
디 첨바지 맞아요체. 다 anxiety다 패닉인데 구글에. 당하지 여러 전에
This is like our home relaxation homework to seek out panic. So now you're going to look for situations that make you panic, right? Because in order to find it, first you have to have it.
Now they're coming now. I'm looking now.
Well, here it comes.
Welcome, you can say. welcome, panic. They're never coming back. There 다들 답시 강모들에 오늘 디펜터 그러대. 자 지나서 저도치더라 봐. 지메 레스나나 근데 레스나나 아니 이 답이 방보들. 다 니어디 아니 다그 간의 정도 규제인데 세워다. 규제인데 그 간의 정도로 봐. 어디래 답람 니어디래다.
So if our first method then is to think, where is it? To do a thorough kind of analytical meditation. Where is it in the body and mind? And secondly, second method is, what is the source of it? What are the causes and conditions behind it?
다 이제 누스 삼다인데 망고직 규제인데 계산 괜히 다른 쇼베 내주라 그래. 봐. 당원에서는 찾아래. 내주 참고 찾아래. 봐. 저런 relationship로 이제 파즈 전부 매버체 로 disagree로 충분히나?
Yeah.
아니 다른 쇼베 저로 쇼베이나? 원에서는 내주도 찾아라.
Yeah.
아네, 이 다른 쇼베 내주래. 단다? 아, 개면도. 로야. 대베 내주라고 내지나. 제가 먼저 대베 내주 망보 쉬우지. 수수 케이지. 아니 셈나라. 좀 söje 야. 그러면 뒤에 삼아만 이거 써거라. 아, 다들 다른 쇼베. 디 둔다고마, 디 롱고마, 딩에마 그러셔. 내주디 차산조래. 내 가르치는 삼단 거라 삼단다. 남산 배 시와차. 시와차.
And, when we try and locate the source of the current problems in terms of the cause and condition, one might reflect back and think, well, it happened this morning, or it happened yesterday, it happened last week, whatever. But when you really think about it, that's already gone. That's gone. Okay, so maybe this morning one had a disagreement with one's partner, but that's moments ago. That's a long time ago. That's gone. So just try and leave that. The problem is we carry that. We carry that with us, and then we make a big story about it. And some people are carrying one from last year or today. So why do you think like that? Just leave it. It's past.
For example, right now, present moment, here now. We don't have problem, nothing here. Some people think, I'm terrible, I have this. Present moment, you don't have nothing here. Where is the problem? You look here, everyone's happy. No problem, one person. After teaching finish, I don't know, But present moment, we don't have nothing problem here. Zero problem here. Some people think, I have this problem. Where is your problem? You found it yesterday, therefore, bring here, your mind bring here, You need to recognize this, isn't it? Therefore, present moment, I'm so lucky, I'm happy. Then, bring up inside more joy. Right?
Yeah.
Very clear, But we don't recognize this, right? We don't recognize. They tanda the yula dine chungla de ta nangbegi shingwe nezu nala ta taplam de befendo chambare. Maranzo digi ji yone 규jen들 되는 중어래 동해주에 규jen들 되는 중어래 아 대변내주디 대변내주 찾아라 근데 교단 두고 말해다 될 삼당 말해다 대변 찾아래 배나 교단 두고 말해대 교단 삼당 hopeless이다 저는 요 말다 디 산제 레베이네 저런 god 레베이네 대변내주 교단 두고 말 기시 god 요너다 god 대변내주 산제 페네 대변내주 차우차우도 차래 메시지 교단 두고 말
교단 두고 말와
당도 가래 열에서나 만절로 단다 마음바디 열에 단다 만절 와 다다 내가 단지 랍사 말아서 배 기부래 돼 와. 어디 삼는다 아니 뭐네 신다 강에 민도 뭐네 신다 로 단단한서 강에 민도
then in that sense of looking for the cause of one's problems in terms of the reality, this is a method particularly within Buddha Dharma to think that everything has a cause and condition behind it. If one's feeling happy, that has causes and conditions behind it. If one's feeling sad and suffering, that has causes and conditions behind it. But very much so, the past is gone now. All of the past is gone now. We can't change that. And so much so it's a reality that if Buddha came before you, even if you believe in God and God came before you, past is past. They couldn't change it. So if that is a reality, what we can do is work with the present moment. And in the present moment, we're doing okay. So in that sense of the present well-being, it has a relationship to the future. So really now, we have no worries at all.
들어봐 세상다 매 탑시 니버디 규jen라 되는 중어 상다디 오늘 뜻배 계속 뭐래 하와르도 말아서 수수 틸레예베 미지어와 미나리 키나리 가리나다 내가 군이 그 보스 믹스 두자 요이네 그 비자가 절 상당거라 포지티브 처럼 수수를 팬도 가르쳐 베너핏 가지고 팬도 가서 주면이 대대 계속 뭐 쉬어지래서
So, reflecting this method that everything has a cause and condition behind it. There is causality. And that's particularly important in terms of those that are close to us. We have to relate to other humans and our pets. And sometimes we have to relate to our boss. So sometimes we're going through a bad situation with them. But try not to go down the negative thought. Try to think, okay, so now this is coming up, appearing negative. How do I benefit them in this context? Pembe sambarwa.
어디 디체 다 대전이와디 디과체로와 다 대전 숨바데로와 대전 숨바디 당서 anxiety 당 panic 양자 모여야 그 탑시더와 한국이 당서 삼발 흘러서야 될 검자 교육바 꾸론 검자당 비니 exercise 비니 meditation and mindfulness present moment say the kejon bar dela present moment le inji minji ya ko stem la chago mare so de she ni da ni cho shi khala de lungba yunjong la ta inde chen na de yo ba
Right, so now coming to this third category of trying to prevent anxiety and panics. And then we talked about the first level of making the mind relaxed. And we said that best case for that was to do breathing exercise to allow the mind to be in the present moment and to focus the mind.
다 들어와 당서 곰 쇼베 곰
sorry. And that doesn't only mean sitting in formal meditation. For some of you, being in the present moment, for some of us, and making the mind relaxed, that could be doing whatever you're doing, listening to music, making food, eating food, being in the present moment.
어디로 and the present moment some people thinking meditation is just like that meditation to lots different things. You're focusing, you're working on the kitchen, and your motivation is benefit for people, good food, and your awareness, how to make good food, delicious food. Or some people cleaning bathroom, you making very clean bathroom using other people. Or some people gardening and beautiful making place benefit for people. Therefore, I want to making very good gardening, something like that. Any action you have with the bring benefit for people, good motivation, it makes you more joy or happy or something. You think I did something right. Therefore, yeah, I think I did something right today. I did something some benefit for people. Therefore, then this makes you feel joy or relax, and then less tired. Otherwise, any action, small action, you become tired. Only focusing money, and then building stress, and then anxiety, and coming like that. Third method, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is gomjab. gomjabne 당한서 님도 로그라다 그러 미다 미십 그지 미다 미 님도 내가 저거래 아니 디지털다 대내가로 딱 가르쳐 버렸었는 땅원에 당긴 건서 꾸노나 매일 팬도시야 땅 잠지 딱 칸드 지기 빅한드 지기 라인 봐.
Yeah.
딱 빅한드 컨트레스 치고 또 어디 삼당 고래다. 탈론 숨바디.
So this third method, much more to do with how we interact with others on a daily basis. We've said that prior to doing those interactions, we need to have an attitude of altruism, concern for others, kind heart. So how does one increase that kindness?
다디 로아당 안아서 구급 쉬어요. 저런도 지도나 내가 지고 와라. 한 하와디 미 강에 있는 데도 나 데려러 와치야로. 미 강에 있는 데려러 와치야. 근데 로바 컨데죠. 다 딩산 로바치야라 인지민지 배샤되는데 저거 말아 봐. 거기 미디 계전이야로다. 아니지 코페도 님도 동가도 계저도 미디 계저도 취지 냠바이나. 다 딩산 미망고 쉬어질라. loneliness 강에도 와로. 아니 인데스 지라 계저로지 야보시에 게모로게 아니 첩라랑 somebody this 주를 소토이나 다 단데 내가로 디펜도 차도 와로 어딘데로 지도이나 아니 야보 컨데도 와로
Really, we have such a wonderful opportunity to help others at the current juncture in society, because there might be other beings going through great difficulties and we can help them out. How is that? Well, not necessarily, we don't have to help others with money, but just a few kind words over a coffee. That could be it. So they talk, you listen. Or, we have a lot of problems around loneliness. So just being with others, joking around a bit, being relaxed, that's so much benefit.
지난 투즈기 다 편도시다 봐. 투즈 편도체. 아니 수수파 시장만 해야지 밑에 수 시해줘라. 가져게 계좌 맞아서 밑에 시해주면 야, 대스 버저 시해줘야. 수수대대 시해봐.
So looking at the time, sometimes it's the case that you do all the talking and they listen. How about reversing that? So you just listen and they talk.
제가 다디 개정물에도 다 단대 뒤에 가라서 미신이디 초보 조무 고고도 안 건데 소셜에도 소셜 세상 초보 조무 고고요래 이 인디장가라 데려야다 잠재 돈에 대화 관계 치고더라 잠재 돈에다 대화 관계 치고도 다 네유나 아니 오늘 즉 초보다 조무 로과치니에 대해서 초보 조무 망지요나 스트레스래 요 말이야. 수수직 레가로 어제 요에나 수수대에서 가보던 저거 정말 그치다 나데 걔 말이야. 나데 레가 배망보도 전서 드저요 나가라고 제라나. 아니 되게 미지기 주도 제 레가 지고요나. 아니 미시용배나 미시기 주도니 레가 제다. 사성 안 돼요. 아니 양 파라고 제 주라고 제. 하여튼 내 세비나 스트레스 매우 차로.
Yeah. So then, somehow, as humans, we have to relate to each other. That is there. And if one can make better relationships, as humans, we need friends, we need friendships, we need affection. So then, how to connect? How to connect with others? Well, if you have more friends because of being relaxed, then you're going to have less stress. Well, how does that work? If you have a big workload and you have something to do within 8 hours, but if you call some of your friends to help you do that work, then for 8 divided by 4 is 2, so the work's done in 2 hours. So automatically there, the stress goes away, and that's kind of shared. You've shared it, the burden.
And then 사자리를 두고 있나 파지르디 아니 모델당 호텔 두라고 말해 두고 있는 대샤나 라자 칸라테 문도
Yeah.
아니 파르디 두고도 칼라다나 야 홀디 레스토랑 라자테 문도
Yeah.
야 틀리디 야 콘솔레 파넬렌체나 근데 두스체니 펜도더라 와 딘데레
Yeah.
와 먼저
And if you manage to make lots of friends in different places, when you go to those places, you don't have to pay to stay in a motel or hotel. You can stay at their place, and they'll so love to cook for you that you won't have to go to a restaurant. So you save money there as well. And then when they're traveling, they come to your place, and you reciprocate. So much better.
Last time Christmas then I went to South Island to West Coast, Wanaga, Queenstown, Christchurch. All free. Guest house is free. Food is free. So the petrol is free. Maybe this is a pre-cloth. And 2015, I went to France, Italy, and Switzerland. And all accommodation free. My friend organized. And airplane air ticket is free. And food is free. Today I have lost patience. Some people think I'm no working money. I think he not enough money, but I don't need money. I don't need to pay guest house, and I don't need to pay much lunch or dinner. And money, not much point. For me, I don't know you. I don't know you are dependent. This is funny. Then 2000 when I went to US nearly 2 months, and New York and New Jersey and Wisconsin. Wisconsin I stayed there nearly 1 month, and then they have some monastery or free, and then New York. I stayed there nearly 2 weeks. All accommodations free, and then I have maybe 10 or 12 friends, and they each person they one, and then one morning one person coming taking me an evening talk. Another day another person they're making routine. I'm looks routine. They're taking and they're making plan. You can take there. You can take there. You can take there. And then they got me. And coming back, I have US $2,000 balance. More people give money. 아유, 듣어야지. 조선 파로 뭐도 단도 배설 하기다. 라. 근데 스트레스입니다. 라.
Somehow money didn't go out; it came in, so I had no stress about that.
나 망고직 스트레스 배샤는 용거다.
Yeah, because to be fair, a lot of our worries are around money, isn't it?
스트레스 되네.
Around that.
저한테 조고 되더라.
Yeah.
조고 비칸드시지. 그래. 대지 때 땅거라. 조고도 잘 메시지 땅 되어임에 안 가르도 상상 추천주도 당분이와도 아리다도 건서 나대 강에도 너는 계제시에 건서 개요 말에 계제대 지 까마 주정아 건설 계제시에 두두 땅거라.
Yeah.
나는 파도나 상고 프리래다. 근데
Yeah, this notion of putting effort into connecting with others out of kindness. It takes time and a little bit of effort. Sometimes we have to message each other, and sometimes people contact me or message me with their problems quite late at night, 1 or 2 even. So then I will listen 10, 15 minutes, we'll talk things through, and they say, oh, I have this problem. So I listen, I say, oh, why don't you try this? So then that kind of works, because then you find that you've made a connect, and then you can go and visit them as well.
I don't have expectation. Only he said only benefit other. Today all my action, all my body, speech, and mind will only benefit means without expectation having. If you have expectation, oh, I'm happy now, and if I go back in US, they give me free accommodation or some lunch or something like that. Then nothing to do. Then I upset. Expectations no good. Only benefit other means. Only means without expectation. Very powerful. This is very powerful. And you benefit other people coming back. This is reality, And then I have some friend there's a very kind person, and they no need to find a job advertising. People want him. People want him. The Sharbanima. He never do advertising. People want him. People want him. This reason is sincere, and only benefit other people helping. This makes a strong relationship, right?
Yeah.
세상 어디래다 비칸을라야지 책디다 렐하워래들 칸응원에 제야디 갖고 열었어.
Yeah.
와, there's 배전치 그래. there's me 상상랑 one time listening in from England, one friend. I listening nearly 2 hours, she talking blah 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 blah, and then I turn on my prayer and I listening. Listening and he talking. Sometimes one topic he talking me 3 times. He has some said he can't talk other people, and I talking. He first on I listening, and second start and I do prayer and I listening. Okay. And I had new one and I listening again. New topic I listening again. And then he do again, again to pray. Nearly 2 hours sometimes listening. And sometimes he's cry, but the problem, the relation, family problem, and they're very little bit of people, sometimes talking, and then we sharing some methods, something like that. Well, to days that Tangures, to days Dana, and it
Yeah. So, practicing that kindness is not easy. It's easy to say from the mouth, but you have to put effort into it, and it takes time.
로다 당보디 수수 니마님의 수수 저가 게임에 보고 레갈레로 두줄라 치고 그랬어. 두줄라야다 비칸데 살 치고 그랬어. 고두사 두줄라 치고.
Yeah. So in that sense, in terms of the practicing on the ground, that kindness, who's one going to start with in daily life? The people close to you, your partners, your loved ones, your children, your parents, all of that.
재산. If you have some good friends somewhere, and they want to stay. Last time I went to South Island and Queenstown, and the two parents want to stay at their house, and we did 3 days, half. They want to stay there. And in Croatia, I have some friends. Come one night, and I had one friend house 3 days, another days, like that. One friend house 3 days, another friend 3 days, like that. And then anyway you go, people say, you come here, Yeah, there's some relationship, keeping connection. It's important, it's very important. There's some people ask me, my parents live in Tibet, and my Manga friend live in Sarah Monastery, and I come here. I live. Some people, lots of people ask me, oh, Keshila, do you have loneliness? Loneliness for me, I'm too busy. I lost good friend have here. Roya, yeah, without expectation, hard then coming connection more. Rather, rewa mewe thone, susu chido wati, ane huda chigo resra.
Yeah, one makes effort without any agenda, without any expectation.
Roya, da gonda, thorin gonda, da di jiranza komjare, nala phalin. Da, ane ma nyegala wadila. Kashe gomzozo jabdana, temena ma nyegu kala, nikugula wa samda, ana tiri nge lega nondu kharchezon. Da di kejumu shiore. Nge mandibu kharchezon samla tanarwa. Ane nonjo dinde chesun, da dire mason sam, ane chosha. ane sanyi ne nga di yangja chigime sirwa. Madusta, bena chiranzo chantung ya jangla shunjo na. Da tiri nga chantung ya, sanyi nga chang gilas kashe nyur dangi sirwa. Dus chituna ane yagoyor.
Then, in the context of the day, at night, before one goes to sleep, it's very good to reflect on the day. How did it go? Some people do that formally, they sit again in meditation. But some people, they can just do it as they lie to sleep. So it's good to check up on the day. Did you make any stuff ups? Did you make any mistakes? And to recognize them. So, for example, maybe you drank too much and you had a fight with someone. And maybe probably tomorrow drink a little bit less. So like that. That's very important to make that strong determination to do better next day.
Ni susu yagaro da pendo che gom jebchen da tiringe mila pendo so ngara samba ju chung song pe ya chung song ane gao gom da sanyi nge gom ja mila pendo che dile manga chigi indas yangja odus che je kelen chidu na yago yoresra.
But also at the end of the day you're reflecting on the really good side, the positive things. If it's gone well and you've managed to help others out, then rejoice, think, wow, that went okay. Think how excellent. And then tomorrow you resolve to do even better.
Yeah, that the nimachigi komjadang rimbadi resta. Tuayuna, ani tua karayuna danadi transro.
So that might be a little bit about how to conduct the day within kind of the motivation and dedication to meditation framework. Any questions, you're welcome.
Do you have a question? Di chigo mares karasa ore. Mochago mares.
Of course we're not shy, right?
Da tuwa mena, ani tirin the gomja derda. That's all the shokbe gulong gomja. Ani breathing exercise, breathing meditation. Di sumdo. Tadi shokbe. Dezere kama sumze ro. Chawa sawe na kama sumze son kama chudin saro da. Ani tuzeyo na dezere kama nga zanga. Tuze jorung bu jabjoya ma gomdero. Nge tang kumshi so gomja. Tangbo di odi gomti jatobe na. Mane pendayo re. Ro. Maranzo chokbo yakshoyo tere. Charanzo New Zealand lo komba jabje dosa ta mara yoro. Hagindo dosa ta rigan. Inde ya to rigan la de ne susi jigo komro ja dana be jiwo ro.
Yeah.
New Zealand saja be ni ri thobo khalung changma jiwo shobden do wa ne dinde le ya to je. Ani de je komro ja je susi de dana ne be jiwo ro. Ne mane susi nim도 가도이나 초고 야고지 키지 조고 여러 셈데. 딜라 참부체 셈들라 참부체 셈로 누구시래 단지어 말에 셈로 누구 때나 단에 자자를 조고 배두제 자자라 안 가도이나 방에 되고 죄송하디래.
What we can take from today is to try and cultivate a daily practice. So we mentioned that first in terms of the meditation, we have to motivate. You have to have a good volition, a good intention. Then secondly, to do breathing exercise. And then finally, we counted breathing meditation. Start small. small increments of like 3 minutes each, if you can. If you have more time, maybe 5 minutes of each of those three, the motivation, breathing exercise, and meditation. Don't start off doing it really long, because the essence of what we're saying is to make it a good habit and to feel like you want to do it. And then you'll really start to see the benefit of doing the meditation. That becomes your best friend. So, for example, in New Zealand, I think we have this great opportunity. Some of you like hiking, going into these natural places, and some of us like to go high, where it's clean, where it's nice. So from time to time you can do that and just sit in the mountains, meditate there. That'd be really good, because then you start to make a friend with your own mind, and that's the best friend you could make. Never push yourself. Then your mind won't be able to be subdued.
쌤다 부구춘주 지거래서 부구춘주를 배 탐타나 깔래도 와
Yeah.
쌤래 탐타지요 말 배 탐르를 못 쳐보다.
Actually, one's mind is like a small child. You don't want to make the boundaries too strict and tight, because then the child will like revolt. It's the same with, you don't make the mind too tight.
개워져 chocolate 되게
Skillful means a little bit of chocolate there, a little more there.
Keep quiet, peace. This is the mind chocolate. sim 그 chocolate 가라서 sim 대 relax shower 가가 대 되잖아. 아니 sim 빼가 this sim 그 chocolate래서.
The chocolate for the mind is when the mind is really relaxed and peaceful, isn't it? It's really feeling nice.
아니 되네다 제라 제 panic 다 anxiety 다 강에 가르쳐 보이나 말라 네 중 말라 제 가와도 다 제고 다 답시 라서 가와도 제 이거 말해 안 되네다 유진 간의 정도 어디세요?
Remember that second method, whenever the strong thoughts come up, the panics, the anxiety, don't just fixate on it. Do a thorough checking. Where is it? Where is it? What part of the body? And then not only that, but what are the causes and conditions behind it? Work with it.
다 somebody 마 미도도 다 칸드시야 비칸드시야 다 개좀 빼래 잠재
And our third method, not forgetting, was whomever we interact with, do it with kindness.
어디 다 다르게 가서 지난주 home relaxation 디게레스다.
That's your home relaxation work.
homework 말해 home relaxation.
Not homework, home relaxation.
yeah, that is yeah.
We'll stop for today.
And you have lots enjoy there, lots